Welcome to the Self-Storage Show, where I have conversations with my industry friends, talk with owners and vendors, and share tales about my management company, 3 Mile Storage. Let's go. Hi everyone, this is Jim Ross of the Self-Storage Show. I'm going to do another episode here of a little part of the interview series that we've been doing recently. I have Ryan Smolarz with me today. How's it going, Ryan?
Excellent. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Hanging in there, getting ready for the holidays. That's how it goes. Kind of just buckle up and hope for it comes and goes without too many scrapes and bruises. So that's how I look at it.
I agree.
Anyway, we met at the Scott Meyer's event in Vegas, his little mastermind that he puts together. And you're kind of sitting next to me and doing like your thing on a computer, and you mentioned you do a podcast. I'm like, wait, what? So it kind of caught my attention. So we started talking. All right, you got to jump on. So rather than me going and giving the whole blurb, if you don't mind, kind of introduce yourself and give us a little Cliff Note version of who you are, what you do, and we'll go from there, man.
Sure. So Ryan Smolarz, I actually live in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and I've been going to Scott Meyer's mastermind since I guess it was 2018, and over the course of that time, I've gotten involved with several self-storage facilities and really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the people, and so yeah, we decided to go ahead and start a fund and kind of scale this a little bit more, and try to bring some investors into the mix, and treat them well, and hopefully they'll treat us well, and everybody wins. So that's how the whole thing started. We've built up our team now. I think there's 5 of us that are working on the project. And so it started off a little bit differently than it is now. Most of our target investors are doctors now. And so on our podcast, the Medicine and Money Show, we're really speaking to doctors and trying to help them sort of either start or continue their investment journey. And so, yeah, we're doing some education there on different subjects. Last week, we had a student loan attorney that came on and tried to help us, sort out some of those loans that almost all of us have. Yeah. And so it's been really fun and exciting. So I'm excited to talk about it with you here.
That's cool. So what made you initially, how does self-storage get on your radar to even go to Scott Meyer's mastermind and kind of get the ball rolling?
Sure. So 2017, I had enrolled in business school. So I went back and got my MBA. And so going through that process, I figured out that, I really wanted to be an investor. And learn a little bit about some asset classes and see, where I sort of fit in. Yeah. And I could tell you that at the time, and probably now, my life was and is super complicated, and I wanted something that wasn't as complicated as what I had been doing. And so as we went through the process of looking at different asset classes, multifamily and all the stuff, I came across self-storage. It was like, oh, this is a concrete slab in a metal box. This is great. So I think
air.
That's right. I think it became a little more complicated, than I thought it was going to be at the very beginning. But all in all, it's been absolutely incredible to be in the industry and get to know the people. And, we're just super excited and very grateful to be a part of it.
Yeah, I hear other people, from other vectors of real estate and different industries, and they're like, once they get kind of a taste of storage, they're like, oh, cool, we're all in. It's kind of funny. I just get kind of spoiled because that's all I've ever done. That's all I've ever known is storage. But the more people I talk to, like, it's unique. It really is. Once they get a taste of that investor and just the returns they get, and then, like you said, the people of they're very open to discussing and kind of giving there's no secret sauce, but best practices of what to do and how to operate these things, and then just kind of the connections and networking. It's fantastic. So no, that's great. So
it really is. I mean, I think that as far as it speaks to the amount to the type of person that it draws, I think, because
Yeah.
I think that it tends to draw people who are a little bit more laid back and, just want to do something that's good for society and have a place for people to store stuff and, not make it too complicated. It's more like, hey, yeah, come on in. Let's figure out how to make this happen very quickly and efficiently. And, everybody wins. I think that's the bottom line. That's kind of the vibe that I get from the community is
Yeah.
let's try to figure out how to let everybody win and, make this as successful as we can.
Well, that's great, but not many people that become investors and all that get a taste, then take the next leap and decide to start a fund. So how, how did that work? How did that come to play here?
Yeah, so I after sort of owning several facilities, I really found what I consider to be my niche, which is being a fund manager and kind of running that from that aspect because I like the numbers. In business school, I was that's sort of where I thrived, and
Mm,
so I went through all the different aspects. Did I want to try to find a team to join, or did I want to? How did I want to go about sort of upping my game here in the self storage industry? And really, what it came to be is that just that I found funds and I found self storage kind of in the same way, where just kind of going through the motions of trying to figure out where I wanted to be. And I just fit into it so well. And we have so much deal flow coming through that Scott Meyer's mastermind that I was like, man, this is a unique opportunity that I think I should really jump on and embrace and that sort of thing. So, a lot of my role is sort of leadership and running the teams and finding talent and that sort of thing. And so I think probably the biggest advantage that I had was, not being in a fund for 5, 6, 7 years and just learning the industry and feeling comfortable about bringing investors on and being able to be a good steward of their capital. And so being transparent and, it's kind of the way I run businesses and that sort of thing. So
yeah.
I think it was a good fit. Um, and yeah, now, so, it took us quite some time to get the ball rolling, but once it did start getting rolling, the momentum that we have is just incredible.
That's great. No, that's why I want to kind of hear more of the backstory because I love when I hear people that are like, no, I've done this. I've operated. I'm an investor. I know the business, and now we're doing
Right.
not just being like, hey, we're starting a fund, and
Yeah.
what is it again? Storage? Oh, okay. No, so it's important, to
It
know
is
how
important.
this
It's
plays.
very important that you have the right people that understand the not only what I call the strategy arm, which in this case would be the finding and acquiring the facilities, but also the compliance piece, which falls under my fund umbrella at this point,
Hmm.
um, in building the teams and that sort of thing. And then we have the capital raise side. And so we've really put a lot of thought into how we wanted to structure this and how we want to build it out. And so with that, we went to, some of the best people in the world who can teach you how to start funds. And so it's all set up correctly from the get-go. And so I spend an exorbitant amount of time researching and finding these people that can help us. And so I think that that's also a big thing when you start talking about bringing in investors, because you don't know what you don't know. And so if you don't seek out that sort of, either you call it whatever you want, coaching, teaching, that sort of thing, you never know if you have a understanding of it all. And
Yeah.
so, we were very fortunate to be able to have the opportunity to have those type of people to help us guide through it. Because I think a lot of people go from so owning one on their own or two or three or whatever, and then to syndications, and then they go to the fund side of things. And maybe realize pretty quickly that they may be in over their head. And so that's not where we wanted to be. And so we wanted to really gain the confidence and the education of the community. So we're happy that that happened that way.
Great. No, you've been very strategic, it sounds like. So you know what you're doing. You're not just winging it. You have a strategic plan that you've been, putting together and actually implementing it. So no, that's fantastic.
If we don't know something, we have the right people to go to, and I think that that's
Yeah.
super important.
No, exactly. And in the beginning, you mentioned something about for doctors. That's kind of the niche.
Yep. So during the day, I'm an ear, nose, and throat surgeon. So as I've been through this journey on my own, this is a topic that's really near and dear to my heart, right? Because I think that lack of time is really puts physicians in at a disadvantage for their financial career. Most of them, I'll include myself, have an adequate income, but the part of that they are saving may not have a good grasp or understanding about how to allocate capital. And so we are constantly talking about allocating capital, because really in its core, that's what a CEO's main job is to be at least part of the go, no go team decision about whether you're going to allocate that capital or not. And so in my opinion, everybody is their own CEO of them, right? And so from a financial aspect, I feel strongly that you have to be able to allocate your own capital to have that journey to financial freedom be very clear, because I think the waters get very muddy for a lot of people who don't have a good understanding of the basic concepts. And here's the reality is you're not going to be taught it in school. So where are you going to learn it? Right. And I think that that's the question. And so we take that part of the business very, very seriously.
That's great. Yeah. It's when it comes to, it's, you got to take control of your own financial destiny and all that. I remember that's been years and years ago, but when I had my first child, I'm like, all right, we are now Ross Incorporated. And I treat like the family, like a family business and our family financials and all that, trying to get educated. Because that's a whole other topic. Like we talked about education in school. I'm like, you graduated, even if it was college graduate, I'm still like, I never learned any of this stuff. Like it's
Exactly.
insane. So yeah, that's a whole other podcast though. But anyway, so it's, I guess we haven't even announced what the name of it is yet. So for store sponsors, right? Store sponsors.
Yeah, it's storepartners.com is the main website where people can go to. And really we have it set it up as very personable. So if you want to call with me or my team, my capital raise team or marketing team, there's a button, you click it and it goes right to our calendar leads and we sit down and have a call. Basically a big part of the first call is, what is it that you're looking for? What do you want? Right. And I think that that's super powerful, because I think not only doctors, but I think most people sort of have this thing ingrained in them that maybe what they think about, when the lights go out at midnight, that what they want is too much. Like they're being almost, just kind of selfish if their dreams are too big. Right. And so I think you have to break through that barrier and let them know, hey, it's what you want. There is no judgment. What you want is what you want. Yep. And so our job is to sort of help you sort of figure out how to get there. And so I think that's a big part of the capital raise, is finding the pain points. And this has been ingrained in me through my marketing team, is that, to have a great and sustainable product, you have to solve the problems of something or someone, right? Usually it's someone.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, you can do that efficiently, then there's very little doubt that you're going to be successful.
Wow. I've talked to other, fund managers and things like that, and I've never heard anyone talk about that aspect of it. Usually like, cool, you want to write a check? All right. So
Yeah.
yeah. So that's very important actually. This guy,
Yeah.
it changes things. It's a different philosophy because a lot of people is like, if they're going to be writing a check and investing in something, it's not just the vehicle, it's not just the investment. They're investing in the people, obviously, that are
Right.
part of this.
Well,
And
I think you hit the nail on the head there. Um, it's about building relationships
yeah,
that's what capital raising is. And so when when we have an investor come in, the idea is not, hey, let's invest in this deal. That's the last thing on our mind. Our mind is building this relationship with this person so we can do deals for 30 or 40 years, right?
yeah,
That's
exactly.
the idea. And to build almost like a community of people who have trust and that sort of thing. And, hopefully a little bit educated on the matter. And I think probably one of the best ways to do that is to have a little skin in the game and go along for the ride. So you get the quarterly reports, you get the meetings that we have, and we're talking about cap rates and how the market conditions are looking, and why or why not they may not be looking so great right now, and what we're doing about it. And so I think there's definitely value in that.
No, that's fantastic. No, but transparency. That's for sure.
Transparency.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
So when you're going through this, and again, I just want to clarify this: is it just for those in the medical field and for doctors, or
No,
okay?
we are talking to all kinds of people. You'll see all the marketing materials sort of directed at physicians, but I think that the reason why is because I'm so I have such a soft spot like right here, but my chest for those kind of people, because I was a person like that
Yeah,
was struggling to figure out how to start and where to go. But I think it's super powerful for really anyone in any industry, from savvy investor all the way down to someone who's just starting out,
sure.
to figure out just, where do I go next? Who are like-minded people who are looking to do the same thing? Um, and how do I get involved?
That's great. So what do you have going on right now as far as capital raising? Is it for, but you looking to buy multiple properties, or is it like one at a time kind of a thing?
Yeah, so it will be one at a time for
Okay.
now. We have two facilities that we are bringing in under the fund, and they actually still have some capital to bring in.
Gotcha.
So that's where we're going to start. So I don't want a lot of capital sitting on the sidelines not doing anything.
Yeah.
So we're trying to plan it where an investor comes in, can go right into a deal. So we are looking at several deals to acquire. Um, as the holidays get closer and closer, the communication gets less and less.
It's like nobody wants to work in December. I don't get
Right.
it. Okay.
So, but we are actively looking, and we've got some pretty aggressive brokers that we're working with right now that I think that are going to, toe
Okay.
the line and keep working and try to get us some deals. A lot of our deals are sort of off market. We do a lot of behind the scenes cold calling and use VAs and that sort of thing to find these deals. And we love seller financing. So with that, we will continue to do our thing.
Nice. Yeah, it's like as long as you keep being consistent and trying to find those deals, because I'm no Nostradamus, but I just have a feeling, man, these next few months it's gonna get real interesting. So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
gonna be some opportunities for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so much commercial debt that's coming due right now, right? And some of them who maybe didn't stress test their facilities enough, maybe a little bit more underwater than what they
Oh,
even know they are right now. And to refinance out of that is going to be a struggle over the next year, I think. Depending on, the Fed pivot. If they go super hawkish, maybe they just have to hang on for a couple months. But if not, ooh, I mean, it's gonna be a struggle.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch what happens here. So let's wrap this up. I want to make sure people know where to go and reach out to you. I know you have your calendar link right there on the website. It makes it real easy. That's how I live my life too. If you have a calendar link, we don't talk. So
right.
So how do they reach out to you?
Yeah, storepartners.com is probably the easiest way to get a call with us. If you want to get to know us, the Medicine and Money Show on our YouTube channel, I think, in my opinion, has some very interesting and very educational content about, how to start up and, go about making that financial part of your life solid. And so, if you want to kind of kick the tires with the Medicine and Money Show, see what we're all about, that's great. And when you're ready to pull the trigger, storepartners.com and click the link and we'll talk.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much, Ryan. We'll have to do this again. We'll do a little catch up on how things are going as you're progressing and learning as you're going through these funds. That's exciting. It's awesome, man. So
super excited.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Take care. Before we wrap up, just a quick reminder. Do you want to level up your storage game? Visit theselfstorageshow.com. Grab some high-value freebies, check out top vendor spotlights, and stay in the loop with our newsletter. Do you want to chat about becoming a client with 3 Mile Storage Management? All the info's there. Plus, if you've got a story to share, we're listening. Everything you need is at theselfstorageshow.com.